Dr. Mavis again. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for listening to the videos. I hope you're sharing and I hope you subscribe so that we can be learning together. In this video, I want to talk about emotional tendencies. Emotional tendencies. Or maybe you want to call them emotional patterns. Or maybe you want to call them emotional saboteurs, right? So we all have emotional patterns. We learn to handle emotions from early on in our formative years. And with that, then we form what we call emotional patterns. And these emotional patterns, sometimes they are described as personality types. So someone can say to you, I'm an 8 in Enneagram, I'm a 9 in Enneagram, I'm a type 4, or a color even. I am a person of strength red, I'm a person of strength green. So those are emotional patterns, right? Emotional patterns. So because they're emotional patterns and we form them in formative years, it is important not only to become aware of them, but also to become aware that these emotional patterns can become saboteurs. They can become detrimental. As an example, if you have an emotional pattern of an avoider, right? So you learn to navigate emotions, you learn to avoid conflict, you learn to avoid anything that feels like a discomfort. It can become a saboteur because now you're not having the relevant conversations that you need to grow or even to be able to build deeper relationships with others because you are avoiding conflict. Or you are a controller. So I have an emotional tendency of taking charge. If nobody's taking charge, I will take charge and I'll get things done. But guess what? It's a saboteur. It's a negative tendency because while I learned in formative years when things were chaotic around me, that if I don't take charge, things will not happen, it has also negatives in terms of now, as a grown-up, when you continue to take charge, you disable people around you, but also it can also become infuriating if you're working in a team setup, for example, where you're constantly trying to take charge and control everybody instead of giving others a chance. So our emotional tendencies, we don't only need to become aware of them. So I've just mentioned two, and there are quite a few. So you probably would know what yours is. It's avoider, it's controller, it is stickler, that is perfectionist. There are quite a few of them, but I've mentioned a few. But what is your emotional tendency? And how is it sabotaging you from achieving the results you want? I've just mentioned my controller, one of them, and hyperachiever, hypervigilant. Those are some of my own emotional saboteurs that I'm currently actually working on them, the emotional patterns or emotional tendencies that can interfere with performance or interfere with building deeper relationships with others. What are your emotional tendencies? What are you doing to develop and grow yourself so that you can limit their effects in terms of the impact on performance and impact on others? Thanks for tuning in. Please share with others.